family? It's your girl, Souljourner Howard, coming to you, I guess, live from my home. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is about faith, family, and autism. So, whatever it is that the Lord gives me to talk about, that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm not limited and I'm not boxed in. The current topic is cancer. Just a quick overview. Um, the top of the year, I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. I knew something was wrong with me. I knew something wasn't right. And ladies, please check yourself, check yourself, check yourself. The earlier you check it, the better prognosis you may get, and the better the results are, because we all want to live, right? Well, since then, of course, I've traded my crown for a new crown. Please check out the first video to get more information about that, as I detail what we went through and walk you through what it was like to go through that beginning stage of that diagnosis. Well, we are 9 weeks in now. And how am I doing? How is anybody doing with this? I have my good days. I have my not so great days. The chemo causes a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort. It's poison. That's what's going in your body, folks. So, of course, your body is going to react. You break out, you get rashes, your skin changes, you get spots, you are extremely fatigued. And the fatigue is not like anything else I have ever felt. I know there are a lot of ways to fight cancer, including healthy diet and vitamins and juices and things like that. But for me, and my husband, we consulted God, and we knew that this was the path that I needed to go. And I'm all right with it. I've been okay with that path. Now, I will tell you, last week, I got my dates mixed up, and I thought that that was the end of my first phase. So I have 2 phases of chemo to go through, radiation and surgery. So I'm thinking that I'm at the end of my phase 1, and I'm not. I have 4 more weeks. 4 more weeks of pain, of nausea, of just not being able to taste anything. Did I tell y'all my sense of taste is gone? Like, I can taste ice cream. That's in a smoothie. I can do that. So I don't have any appetite, but yet the weight's not going anywhere. And I'm like, what in the world? We moved to an easier place out of our apartment of 7 years, and an easier place for me to navigate. Not so many floors. Okay. Anywho, don't get me started on that. Just make sure you read your lease, because sometimes when you cut out with your apartment complex, they act like a very petty and vindictive ex-girlfriend. You know what I mean? Fellas, I know you know what I mean. All right, so this is Passion Week. And I'm a Christian. I love and believe in Jesus Christ as our risen Savior. I'm not selling it to you. I'm just telling you what I believe. And His word and promises are what get me through these days, because they're scary. They're very scary. Okay. I cried when my hair fell out. I mean, it didn't just. I mean, it was like clumps, dude. It was ridiculous, like shaving a sheep. And I said, I will define my own beauty. Take it all off. Okay. When I'm in all types of pain, using oregano oil, using other medicinal means besides the pain medication, trying to do as many natural things as I possibly can, it hurts. And sometimes I'm just on the verge of tears, and it is very discouraging. I have beautiful church community, church family, um, friends, family members, so many, my former students, so many areas of support. But sometimes you can't help but feel just a little bit discouraged. And I tell you, getting that little slap in the face last week, that you had 4 more weeks to phase 1, I don't know about you, but I am an alpha female and a go getter, and I need a carrot dangling in front of me so that I can mark off my progress, because progress is success. Progress means that we're getting it done and we're going to check it off and we're going to move on. What happens when you can't make progress? What happens when you don't have enough energy to go to the grocery store? What happens when you sit up and try to pay your bills, and everyone seems to be talking Japanese or Greek to you, and you only speak English, a little bit of French? Okay. You feel like the dummy in the room. You feel like I just don't get it because you got chemo brain and your processing slowing down. Okay. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is y'all, this is painful. This is I wouldn't call it humiliating. I would call it humbling. That's what I would call it, because we're fragile creatures. And at the end of the day, guess what? Between the rich man, the poor man, black man, white man, red man, we all go back to the dust. And the grave is our leveling ground. No, no, this is not about being doom and gloom, because again, I have Christ and He is my hope. This is about being real. This is about being real about how you feel when your body is not cooperating or doing the things that you need it to do. How you look at yourself as a woman, as a sister, as a wife, as a mom. And I love to cook. Anybody that knows me knows, and that's my heritage. I love to cook. My gram, my mom, big dinners, and that was, just like the Italians. We just like love feast, and it's so funny. We're cousins to the Jewish people. We love feast and we love getting together and all that. If you can't taste anything and you don't have energy to cook, how are you doing that? So this time during holiday, it's it is very prevalent that life is super different and you have to adjust. But sometimes I don't want to. I don't want to adjust. I don't want to adjust. I want to be able to go in the kitchen and cook my kids something. Yeah, they all adults. But every now and again, coming over to mama's house, and I mean, we've got the boys, right? Two autistic, beautiful, intelligent sons. Sometimes they like to, hey, what you cooking down there? That smells good. And sometimes you geeking off of it, like when they were little, and it's just a bonding over a meal. Well, that has been put on hold. I won't say taken away. I'm gonna say put on hold, because I'm not gonna give cancer that type of credit. All right. What about when your husband is like afraid to touch you? Like, I don't even want to hug you. I might break you. I might, come on now. I mean, I'm a thick, sturdy girl. But what happens? Those kinds of things changes the dynamics of your relationship, right? Um, what happens when people get tired of hanging out? People get tired of seeing if you need a ride. People get tired of people are people. All right, you got your ride and dies, okay? And I hope you do. That will see about you, check on you a couple of times a week. Hey, do you need me to do anything? And it's legit. It's not just I'm checking it off being a fluffy Christian, you know, or a fluffy whatever. It's no, it's legit. I really want to know how you're doing. What about those times when you're spending most of your days by yourself? What are you doing? Trying to be productive, but you're like, I'm in so much pain or I'm so sleepy. Yesterday, I tried to read and study and I was going to write. Um, After I got out of the shower, I had to lay down. I had to lay it down. I mean, just simple things like this, right? You're not in your 80s and yet your body feels like, your bones feel like they're bone on bone and things are just like melting together and the pain in the shins. What in the world is that? And having to rely on other people in the house. I am the only queen that is up in this house, except when my daughter comes over. And just always love her visits. Um, so I'm around a king and a bunch of princes. They're not the most caregiving people. Not that they're neglecting, that just is not in their wheelhouse. You understand what I'm saying? Like my husband, Fix It Felix, he fixes everything. Okay. I don't fix things. I cook things. I create things. I make things. I make it look neater. I make it look better. I organize it, make it look logic. make logical sense. I'm sorry, I didn't finish my statement. Make it homey, please put this up on the wall. Ooh, hang these curtains over there. Ooh, let's bake a cake and make it smell all good. Honey, you look like you need a cup of coffee. Okay, so that's the Eve part of me that anticipates needs. And of course, I've been a mom. Our oldest one she'll be 32. Yeah, I'm telling on you. I didn't say when. So I've been a mom, and part of my job has been to learn how to anticipate needs. Part of being a wife. Learn how to anticipate needs. Now look, let me explain. Marriage is service. Okay? He's gonna serve you and you're gonna serve him. So if you have any other idea about marriage, then your marriage is not gonna last that long, because it's two very, very different people trying to come together and make it work. And by nature, we are selfish and self-centered. All right. And always want the me, I. What is it? The id, the small id, the great id. Okay. We always want our needs met first. You have to be able to serve and go lower. One of my pastors, Pastor Zach, did a message on going lower. It's not about who's being right. Now, this is just a piece of free marriage advice. We'll be celebrating 25 years when we get to it. So I figured we'll just go ahead and celebrate now. You got to be able to go lower. If you got to be right all the time, you're going to be right by yourself, because nobody's going to sit up there and let you, be dogmatic about every doggone point, that you're always the one that's right and they're always the one that's small. First of all, that's not love. And that's not serving with love. So you need to go back and redefine what love is. Because as we're sitting up here in this Passion Week, I know a guy that sat up there and loved us so much that he negated the treasures of heaven to come and save our sorry tails. And even gave us promises in his word if we choose to accept them. I've been watching movies, watching TV shows, reading devotionals about the Passion Week. And I've been celebrating Easter for a long time. Yes, Resurrection Sunday, Easter, potato. Get over it, move on. Okay? But the whole point, not the bunnies, not the eggs, not the cute little lacy dresses, although the babies look so flippin' adorable. Not even the meal. It's the message that Jesus came so that we would be protected from God's wrath that we rightly deserve because we broke the rules. And I know in this woke community that we live in, because it's always somebody else's fault. No, it's not. And get out your parents' basement while it's somebody else's fault. Get a job. No, it starts with self-accountability. Self-accountability says that, hey, yeah, I was one of those that was throwing the palm branches the week before and calling, crucify him 5 days later with my sins, with the things that I did that were inherently wrong, that I would say that we could all agree, looking back, that should not have done that. Should have done things his way. Yeah, duh. He's God. He knows everything. He set up marriage between a man and a woman. He set up structure for family. He gave the man lordship and head of the household, serving in love, okay? Because the man is supposed to die to the church. You're supposed to love your wife as Christ loves the church. Christ died for the church. So that means you got to nail your inhibitions down. You can't be selfish and self-centered. You have to put your family first. It's Christ, husband, wife, kids. And the husband and the wife got to be on one accord. No, this wasn't a message about marriage, but, well, you got the bonus plan. What I wanted to talk about was found in Isaiah, which is one of the prophets who spoke about Jesus's birth and also about his suffering. Okay. Isaiah 54, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is from me, says the Lord. So Isaiah was a man that loved God, and God gave him a lot of information, and we still talking about Isaiah. So all those naysayers that God doesn't exist and I don't believe the Bible and well, that's fine. That's your choice. I don't remember your name. But I remember Isaiah's because it's over here in print, and I know his word is from God, and it's true. But I want to look at the part where it says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." Really? I've been questioning that, y'all. We are allowed to question, folks. This is not, oh, I'm Susie Q, perfect Christian. Oh, absolutely not. I bleed. Okay. I cry. All right. I lament about my weight, just like anybody else. I have disappointments. Oh, if I listed them today. Woo. All right. My life has been interrupted, and not just my life, but whoever is in my sphere. My husband's life has been interrupted. He retired back in late October, early November from maintenance and decided to embark on his own business, which I fully support. And then we get the cancer diagnosis 2 months later. What in the hell? Really? The plans that we had for retirement and our little nest egg, puff up and smoke. So you can't rely on that. You can't rely on money the way that it changes. It's fluid. That's the only thing that's fluid, by the way. So as I'm looking at these things and I'm like, how are we going to, Lord, how are we going to meet our obligations? How are we going to eat? How are we going to keep a roof over our head? How are we going to continue to, because we got boys, they eat. And if anybody has boys, y'all know. Teenage girls can eat too. I mean, I've had both, but dog on it, these kids can eat. And they're in their 20s and they're still eating. Yeah, they contribute, but great day in the morning. Your 15-20% is great, but that 80% still comes from mom and dad. So as I'm looking at these things and I'm measuring them up against my own frailty, because this is really what it makes me look at, I'm just like, wow, how is this not prospering? No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Succeed, avail, conquer you. And I'm like, oh, I'm feeling some type of way about this, Lord. I'm feeling some type of way. Now, I know you coming back on the clouds. I know that people who believe and accept your son have your mark, and we're going to go to heaven. Okay. But Lord, right now, great day. I'm getting my teeth kicked in. I'm getting my head handed to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, what do you do when you're so exhausted and you tired of sitting in the bed? You're like, can I just get up and change venue points from the bed to the sofa? Let me put on some clothes. Can I even walk outside? Let me sweep my porch. That's your energy for today. Well, dang, I needed to go to Sam's. Oh, no. The best thing that came out of COVID are the online groceries. Really, honestly, because I can go online and I can shop, and without that, I would be absolutely nuts. Plus, it helps you stay on your budget. Um, so it was really, really good. Everything else, no, not so much at all, including the vaccines, which, whatever, we're not even, I digress on that. I stopped at 2. When you do what you do, I'm not getting no more vaccines. I was like, y'all are crazy and you're lying. And you're trying to fool the people for greed. The same thing that killed the folks on the Titanic, greed, is the same thing that's going to undo this country, is greed. If we don't start putting our fellow man in front of us and humbling ourselves, we're going to be in trouble. Anyway, I digress. When you are feeling like your world is closing in, like, we were supposed to be on vacation for spring break. We were trying to go to the Grand Canyon. I couldn't go anywhere. I had to stay close to my doctors. And the chemo was just like, that was nothing. I have no reference to help me deal with chemo. And chemo ain't no joke. Okay. And everyone's cancer is not your cancer. Your cancer is your cancer. It's specifically tailored to you. So our vacation plans, our financial goals, things that we were close to achieving, starting over. The humbling experience of having to ask a lot for help and delegate. I got people that make it easy for me. And you're thankful. So if I haven't learned anything else through this is the cancer report part 2. is that I am thankful and I am humbled. One, the fact that the Christ, the Messiah, the chosen one, the anointed one, would come and give up so much to come and see about me with all my faults, my short temper, my bad attitude. Sometimes I'm judgmental and can be dogmatic about my views, but he would come see about me and he would teach me how to love the way that he loves. And then surround me with a community of people that agree the way that I agree, that learning how to love how he loves is the best way to go. Who are actually loving with acts of service, not lip service, but acts of service, bringing a meal, cleaning up your yard, helping you do your laundry. Okay? That's humbling. And it's also strengthening. So when I'm having a day today, okay? I would rather just go put my face in the pillow and just be like, oh, I can't watch no more TV. I can't stay awake long enough to read a book, but I'm gonna try. I really would like to get out of my house. It's been stuck up in here for like 3 or 4 days. And I'm like, Lord, I just don't know about this. I don't know how you're going to see me through this, but he is every day through the pain. I'm in pain right now. Through the unknowing, because he said he would. I know his name. One of them, I'm learning many more. Jehovah Jireh. He is going to provide for me. Jehovah Raphi. He holds my banner. That means I am victorious because of him. So no matter how much this cancer is racking my body, and it hurts, and sometimes I cry, and sometimes um, I'm scared. Sometimes I'm really emotional about it. Sometimes I just have to take a deep breath when my husband looks at me like he doesn't know me and not take it personal. Take a deep breath when my kids still expect me to carry on the same way that I'm carrying on and I'm not going to be able to. Oh, you ought to see my Easter menu. It has, okay. They're going to be cooking it this year as rightly they should. I've taught them enough, and I'll be sitting and watching and looking from a different vantage point. Again, adjusting, pivoting, because he already said that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And if I believe that, which I do from cover to cover, from Genesis to Revelation, I believe his word is true, then that means I'm already victorious. I just need to find out how and dig in, because God ain't doing this by himself, although he doesn't need us. He wants us to be an active participant in our victory. So today is a hard day, and I have enough courage to admit that. And it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. Today is a hard day. I can't even verbalize how I'm feeling, for real. But when I go back and I read his word and it says, no weapon formed against me will prosper, and every tongue that rises up against me in judgment, I shall condemn. Oh, that's power, baby. Power. Even when you're talking to your bill collectors, even when you're like, Lord, give me favors so that they'll give me favorable arrangements so that I can pay them. Oh, I'm being real about it, y'all. He said no weapon, and he meant that. So cancer is a weapon. He allowed it. Okay. God is the maker of good things. He doesn't do evil. There's no evil in him. But he allowed it, and there's a purpose for it. And I believe that purpose, whatever it is, I hope to be able to find out what it is. But if I don't, I'll find out on the other side. But there's no weapon formed against me. So my joy is not stifled, even though I have tears. Even though I'm like, want to scream. Lord, let's get over this already. Even though I don't know when the end is going to be. Okay. I just know I'm in it. And I really don't know when the end is going to be. And I don't know what it's going to look like when I get to the end. No weapon formed against me will prosper. That is what I'm holding on to. So yeah, I'm quiet for a little while, but I'm not going to stay down. It's human to feel these things. It is. So I'm going to encourage you all to find something good for you. And if you don't have Jesus, then please consider. Start in John, the Gospels of John. John 3:16, for God so loved the world. Start in John. Okay? Take this Passion Week and try to grasp the love, the self-control, the restraint, the sacrifice that it took to take on punishment that wasn't his. I wouldn't take punishment that wasn't mine, that wasn't his, in order so that you could have a relationship with God. So don't throw that away. Y'all going through this without God? I have no idea how you're doing it. Because I would be like in a padded room by now. I'm going through it and I'm hurting. So I don't know what you're doing with your hurt. I'm giving mine to the Lord and sharing it with you in hopes that you'll draw strength from it. All right, then. I don't know what the third installment's going to be like, but, well, I'm going to start typing as soon as my fingers stop being numb. Yeah, that's another side effect of chemo. Numb fingers. All right, y'all. Love you. Happy Passion Week.